Hello, welcome to Omega Virtual Learning. I welcome new viewers to this channel. In today's lesson, I'll be talking to you about similar shapes. And I'll be talking about why two shapes are similar, how to work out the scale factor of similar shapes, and how to work out missing lengths of similar shapes. Triangles P and Q are similar, and also triangles AB and CDE are similar. One may ask why. Okay, what are the conditions we look for similar shapes? We say shapes are similar if corresponding angles are equal, and the ratio of corresponding sides are also equal, and one of the shape is an enlargement of the other. Obviously, we can see Q is an enlargement of P, but how do we know that the corresponding angles are equal? Let's see. A is equal to M, as you can see. B is also equals to N, and C is equals to O. Let's look at triangle ABE and CDE. A and D are equal because they are alternate angles. B and C also equals, they are also alternate angles. And E is common to both triangles. Now, if you look at this corresponding sides, if you divide CD, which corresponds to AB, and if you divide ED, which corresponds to AE, and if you divide EC, that corresponds to BE, all these are corresponding sides, so the ratio should be equal. That's what it says here. So whenever you divide corresponding sides, when you compare other corresponding sides, they must always give you the same answer. And it's the same corresponding side that we use to work out the scale factor. And when you work out the scale factor from sides, corresponding lengths or sides, we will represent that by K. Corresponding sides by side is represented by K. That's the letter we use to represent it. And let's see how to use scale factor to work out missing lengths. In this question, we're supposed to work out Y and X. First is try to understand corresponding sides. If you look, 3 corresponds to X, 8 corresponds to Y, and 5 corresponds to 8. So first is to work out your K, that is the scale factor. You can only work out the corresponding side, the scale factor, by using the 2 known corresponding sides, which is 10 and 5. So our scale factor K here is equal to 10 divided by 5, and that gives us 2. Now the 2 here means that triangle IJK is twice as big as triangle EFG. Scale factor, that's what it tells you. This triangle is twice as big as the smaller one. So that tells you that if you were looking for a missing side on a bigger one, you times the corresponding side by 2. And if you're looking for a missing side on a smaller one, you divide corresponding side by 2. That's what you need to remember. So in an exam, it's best to always do this to remind you when to divide and when to multiply. So looking for X. X is on a bigger one, so we take the corresponding side, which is 3, and multiply by 2. That gives us 6 centimeters. Y, we take the corresponding side, which is 8, and divide it by 2, and that gives us 4 centimeters. So this is the basic exam question you could ever have. Now, the next exam question that you could see in your exam is when they combine the similar shapes. Here, DE, H, and DFG are similar. We have to work out HG. And you realize that HG is part of DG. It's best to split this into 2 triangles. So you move the bigger one and the smaller one. Now with this, you could see that it's becoming a bit clearer here. You could see 12 corresponds to 5 and 25 corresponds to DG. Now we are only supposed to work out HG, but if you manage to work out DG, you'll be able to know HG by taking away 25 from DG. So you do your normal thing. 2 non-corresponding sides are 12 and 5. Work out your K, which is your scale factor. So we have 2.4. I'm looking for a side on a bigger shape, so I need to multiply the corresponding side by the scale factor. That gives me 60. So the whole line here is 60, and this bit is 25. So to work out the missing bit is 25 from 60. And that gives me 35. Now on the next slide, I want you to pause the video and see how you can do it. It's the same as this question. So you might need to watch this slide again before. So now pause the video and see if you can do this question yourself. When you're ready, press play. Okay, first we split it into two triangles. We find two known corresponding sides, 15 and 10. We work out our K, our scale factor. We have 1.5 now. We are looking for FH. So we rather work out DH and take 12 from our answer. DH is on a bigger shape, so the corresponding side 12 should multiply 1.5. So we have now 18. Therefore, FH will be 18 minus 12. So we have 6 meters. So this is another style of question that you could see in your exam. The next style of exam question is when you have it like this. Here you need to be very careful to know what we mean by corresponding sides. Look, angle B is equal to C because they are alternate angles, and A is equal to D. So you could see if B is equal to C, then X corresponds to 5.6 and 2.4 corresponds to Y. This is how you should understand it. So now given this, the only known two corresponding sides are the parallel lines, 2.4 and 4.2. Use it to work out your K, which is the scale factor. Scale factor now is 1.75, 4.2 divided by 2.4, 1.75. You must know when to multiply by scale factor and when to divide. So use your arrows to help you. Smaller to bigger, multiply by scale factor. Bigger to smaller, divide by scale factor. So let's start with X. X is on a smaller shape, so the corresponding side 5.6, we need to divide by scale factor 1.7. So that's 3.2. Y is on a bigger shape, corresponding side 2.4, we need to multiply it by the scale factor 1.7, that's 4.2. So this is another style of question that you may encounter in your exam. The next one is, okay, before the next one, can you pause the video and try this one the same as the previous slide? And when you are ready to continue, press play. Okay. First, let's work out the scale factor. It's 2.45, sorry. We are looking for CB. CB is on a bigger shape, so the corresponding side 6 should multiply 2.5, and we have 15 meters. If you got it right, well done. The next one is where we have the question in such a way that we might need to use multiple scale factor to find out the missing side. Here first, let's split it into two first. Okay, so remember GD is Y plus 9. That's what you see here. Now what you realize is that you may work out your scale factor, which is okay, 8 divided by 5. But you might need to find out what Y is. You need to multiply the other side, which is also Y, by the scale factor. That's one way of doing it. But you're going to multiply Y by the scale factor and equal it to this. So you're going to form an equation. So one way of doing this is, why don't you work out two scale factors? You know 8 over 5 will give you a scale factor, and Y over 9 over Y will also give you a scale factor, because scale factor is ratio of corresponding sides. So that's my first scale factor. That is my second scale factor, and from similar shapes, all scale factors should be the same. Now I've got simple equation. I cross multiply. I have 8y equals 5y plus 45. And I solve it like equation by taking 5y from both sides. So I have 3y equals 45. Divide both sides by y by 3. And I have y equals 50 meters. So y is equal to 50 meters. So just to recap, when you have in such a way that you cannot get a scale factor and use the corresponding number side to work out the missing side, try to form two ratios of scale factors, equate them, and solve it. Last one is an exam style question, typical exam style question, cross-reference. We are supposed to work out the volume of frustum. The volume of frustum is simply volume of a full cone minus volume of the small cone that is cut off. So this is the volume of the first bigger cone minus volume of the smaller cone. So we need to figure out the original cone. Okay, so we've drawn a bigger cone, but we don't know the height of the smaller cone. But if you look at this side, you could see a triangle here. And you could see another small triangle there. So let's pull it aside. So you could see we have corresponding sides, 6 and 4 from the radius. Then we have the full height and a smaller height. So we can use the same as thing we did before, ratio of two corresponding sides to form equation. 6 over 4, then full length h plus 8, or 8 plus h over h. So that's what I've just done. Radius, bigger radius over smaller radius, bigger height over smaller height. Cross multiply, and you solve for h. H is 16. So if h is 16, then the bigger height should be 16 plus 8. That's why I have 24. So the 16 is for the smaller height. Now all I need to do is to substitute the values into the formula. I have my original cone, the bigger one. Height is 24, bigger radius is 6. Smaller cone, height is 16, smaller radius is 4. You just substitute into the formula, and you pick your calculator, key in exactly what you see on the screen, and you will get the answer as 36.70 cm cube. So that brings us to the end of lesson 1. Watch out for lesson 2. We'll be talking about similar shifts in terms of volumes and area and cubes. Thanks for watching. Please share with your friends. Thank you very much.